Howdy, folks. Another cocktail in the Christmas Cocktails with Papa series. I was going to discontinue this, but I've had some feedback that folks enjoyed it. This evening we're going to prepare the classic American cocktail, the Martini. In this case, it'll be a vodka martini, which has been around for about 115 years or so. Of course, the Martini started as the gin martini, but this was the version that came in after vodka was popularized in the United States, which we'll talk a little bit about when we make a Moscow Mule. Now, the key to a vodka martini is that it must be cold, cold, cold. So you can see that everything is chilled. The glass, which is quickly evaporating off. Normally I wouldn't leave it out this long. The shaker. The vodka and all the martinis ingredients have at least been in the fridge. So, this is the classic vodka martini. We'll do a gin martini and a perfect martini at a different time. We have our shaker full of ice, our glass which has been frosted, and our vodka which has also been frosted. So, a couple of words about ingredients. This is a red vermouth, which is not a dry vermouth. That would be made with white wine, which you would usually see in a gin cocktail. I prefer the red vermouth, but often you hear of a dry martini, which refers to as little vermouth as possible. There's a lot of jokes about that, about waving a picture of a gentleman named George C. Vermouth over the cocktail. So I'm going to put my thumb over here and just allow a small drip. One word about vermouth. It's a fortified wine. It is perishable. It doesn't. The flavor will change over time. A lot of people, ingredients, as we always say, are very important. A lot of people will leave their vermouth on their bar top or in their fridge too long, and the flavor profile will change. So, as you can see, we're using that. I've been making some vermouth cocktails, so I have a little bit lower levels of that. This is going to be called what's a dirty martini, so it's made with the verjuice of the olive, which you saw me put in. Now this is actually, this brand, Mercedes, is actually marinated with dry vermouth, which is with the white wine vermouth. And I have prepared an olive, put in the cocktail glass thusly. So at this point we've put in our red vermouth, we've put in a little bit of our verjuice from the olives. Now our vodka, I find Russian Standard to be a really excellent vodka for the price point. We're going to fill that up to the top of the shaker. As I once described my perfect martini to my friend Nissan, it must be piercingly cold. So, next step in our ingredients, pouring in our mixture, which is full of ice. Now we're going to shake. Unlike a gin martini, which people say to be stirred, which doesn't have to be stirred because you can't actually bruise the gin. They're talking about aromatics, talking about adding, in this case, oxygen and water into the vodka, which lowers the proof. The way that you tell, once you start shaking, and you'll see me do this, once the temperature has changed on the shaker to the point where my fingers are cold and frozen to the top of the shaker, I know that it's cold enough to stop. And so, very noisy, here we go. Here's the practice. You can see there's some condensation on the lid. Now, with one hand, I'm going to take it off camera and deftly remove the top, which wants to stick because it's so cold. And we liberally pour in our cocktail. Simple, easy, classic American cocktail. I'm going to shake a little bit more, with a little bit of ice, a little more of the mixture in there. There you have it, especially for my friend Christian Thomas. Another Christmas cocktail. This is the vodka martini. Cheers.